Do you ever feel a sense of pure relief when plans get canceled? Or maybe you find more joy in a quiet evening with a book than at a loud party. If you nodded along, you're not alone in wanting to be alone, and there's a special kind of power in that. Many people think being a loner is a bad thing, that it means you're sad or antisocial. But what if I told you that loving your own company is actually a sign of high intelligence and emotional maturity? Stick around, because we're about to uncover the surprising truths and hidden superpowers of those who genuinely cherish their solitude. You might just discover you're part of a very special group of people. Let's start by busting a huge myth. Society often paints a picture of happiness as being constantly surrounded by people, being the life of the party. But for many of us, that picture feels, well, exhausting. The constant need to be on, to engage in small talk, it can drain your social battery faster than you can say I'd rather be at home. This isn't a flaw. In fact, it's a sign that you're more attuned to your own energy levels. People who love being alone aren't necessarily shy or afraid of social situations. They're just selective. They understand that their time and energy are precious resources, and they choose to invest them wisely. They prefer deep, meaningful connections with a few people over shallow interactions with many. It's about quality over quantity, and that's a very smart way to live. Now, let's talk about creativity and focus. Have you ever noticed that your best ideas come to you when you're by yourself? Maybe during a quiet walk, a long shower, or just sitting in silence. There's a scientific reason for that. When we're alone, our brains can enter a state of deep focus, free from the constant interruptions and distractions of the outside world. This is the fertile ground where creativity blossoms. Think about some of the greatest artists, writers, and inventors in history. People like Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, and Jane Austen. They all had one thing in common. They spent vast amounts of time in solitude. It wasn't because they disliked people, it was because their work demanded it. Solitude allowed their minds to wander, to connect disparate ideas, and to create something truly original. So, if you find yourself daydreaming and coming up with brilliant ideas when you're alone, you're in very good company. You're tapping into the same creative wellspring that has fueled geniuses for centuries. Another incredible benefit of enjoying your own company is a rock-solid sense of self. When you spend time alone, you're forced to get to know the most important person in your life, you. You learn to listen to your own thoughts, to understand your emotions, and to rely on your own judgment. You're not constantly looking for external validation or approval. Your happiness doesn't depend on whether someone else likes your outfit or agrees with your opinion. This builds an incredible amount of self-reliance and confidence. You become your own best friend. You learn to entertain yourself, to comfort yourself, and to solve your own problems. This is a level of emotional independence that many people strive for their entire lives, but never achieve because they're too afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. They use constant social interaction as a distraction from themselves. But you're brave enough to face yourself, and that makes you incredibly strong. This self-awareness also leads to better decision-making. People who are comfortable with solitude tend to be more deliberate and thoughtful. They're not easily swayed by peer pressure or the latest trends. When faced with a big life choice, they don't just poll their friends for what they should do. Instead, they retreat, they reflect, and they listen to their own inner voice. This process allows them to make choices that are truly aligned with their own values and goals, not what society expects of them. They're playing the long game, building a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to them, rather than just chasing short-term social approval. This leads to a deeper, more sustainable kind of happiness, one that isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's a quiet confidence that radiates from within. Furthermore, loving solitude can actually make you a better friend and partner. This might sound counterintuitive, but think about it. Because you don't need other people to feel complete, when you do choose to spend time with someone, it's a genuine choice. It's not born out of desperation or a fear of being alone. Your presence is a gift, not a demand. You're able to show up for your loved ones more fully because your own cup is already full. You don't drain their energy with neediness. Instead, you can offer a calm, stable presence. You're a great listener because you're so used to listening to your own inner world. You give thoughtful advice because you've had the space to think things through. Your relationships are healthier because they're based on mutual respect and genuine affection, not codependency. Now, it's important to make a distinction. There's a big difference between choosing solitude and feeling lonely. Loneliness is a painful, involuntary state of isolation. It's a feeling of being disconnected and wanting connection but not being able to find it. Loving solitude, on the other hand, is a choice. It's a voluntary, positive, and constructive state. It's about recharging and connecting with yourself. If you're feeling lonely, it's important to reach out and seek connection. But if you're choosing solitude and finding joy in it, that's something to be celebrated. It's a sign that you're self-sufficient, introspective, and in control of your own happiness. You don't need the world to be loud to feel alive. You find life in the quiet rustle of book pages, the warmth of a cup of tea, and the endless, fascinating landscape of your own mind. So, the next time someone calls you a loner or asks why you're being so quiet, just smile. You know the truth. You're not antisocial. You're self-sufficient. You're not weird. You're a deep thinker. You're not missing out. You're tuning in. You're cultivating a rich inner world that no one can ever take away from you. You're walking a path of self-discovery, creativity, and profound emotional strength. Embrace your love of solitude. It's not a weakness. It's your superpower. It's what makes you unique, intelligent, and incredibly resilient. You're part of an unspoken tribe of thinkers, creators, and dreamers who understand that sometimes the best company you can have is your own. If this video resonated with you, if you felt seen and understood, then you've found your community right here. This channel is a space for everyone who finds peace in the quiet and strength in solitude. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next exploration into the power of the introverted mind. And I have a question for you. What's your favorite thing to do when you re-enjoying your alone time? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the quiet.